He's got 5 touchdowns. He's averaging 14 yards every time he touches it. As we said, Finley's averaging 6.6 yards every time he touches it. They've got other good receivers, but the key is Robert Griffin. He's a great player and a good leader, and they'll come in here ready to play.
Coach, you use the word...
Ed.
Yes, sir. You use the word desperate talking about Iowa State. Is your football team now in that desperate category? How would you categorize where you are right now?
Oh, we need to win, Ed. I think you know, desperate was Iowa State. Played horribly for 2 weeks in a row and gave up a bunch of yards and looked bad, and they needed to come in here and play hard and play well, and we're at that point.
How hard is it?
I'd rather win. Playing hard here doesn't count. Winning here counts.
How hard is it to fix the attitude of some players? And it is, I guess, that entitlement change to, you know, pride taking, realizing that it's time to...
Well, that's what you do as a coach. It is hard because I worried about this team in the first scrimmage. I said it the first Wednesday scrimmage we had. I didn't see the passion and emotion, and you do with some players, but other players have to do that. Then out at Tech, you saw it. Then UCLA, you didn't see it. Then at Oklahoma, we saw it. They got a slow start, but they did hang in there and came out and played. 2 weeks ago at Lincoln, they played their hearts out, and but to play twice too hard and against Oklahoma and Nebraska, and then come out and lay an egg with the passion and emotion that's my job to get that fixed, and we'll just keep working on them. I tried last week. I tried hard, and nobody listened, and I was not surprised how hard Iowa State played, and they gained confidence during the game because we allowed them to. And if you do that, it's a script of the UCLA game. UCLA came in struggling. They weren't sure they could win. We allowed them to stand around and get some confidence, and then we tightened up a little bit and couldn't come back and pull it out. And the same thing happened Saturday. I was so disappointed in our defense in the last drive when they're going to run right up the middle. We've still got 2 timeouts. We can still stop them. We can still win the game, and they make a first down running right at us. So that's just not the personality we've had around here, and not the one we can have.
Coach, how do you balance between trying to change mindset, but you're midstream in the season trying to prepare for football games, but you got mindset to change on a football team?
You just have to do it every day. We did it over the open date, and again, we thought we did it this week, but I've been really hard on the coaches. I've been really hard on the players, and it's our responsibility to get it fixed. My job is no different than any other CEO that has problems. Everybody that's a boss in the country has problems, and they have to fix them. Mine are just more public, and they're dealing with kids. That's the only difference. And the public part, if they can't handle reading bad about themselves, they need to play better. If they can't handle people bashing them, they need to play better, or don't read it and play better. If they play better, people change fast. And that's the biggest thing I've told them. Grow up. If you play bad, can't ask anybody to do anything until you play better. Then you can call on some help. It's hard to ask for help when you're not doing your job.
Coach, for lack of a better term, do you feel like the want to is there?
Yes, it's a great group of young people. They're trying. They want to. I just think we're immature. The entitlement of last year we won, Coach. Why didn't we win Saturday? Well, you don't make the plays together to win. So we're working through some of that right now to get that fixed. And what we do is we take each play and show them when we score. The kickoff coverage team has to stop them, get a 3 and out, we go score again. We've done that for 12 years. So when you get a turnover offense, you cannot turn it right back over. Make a play. It's one guy, and he needed to block, and that's a chance to go win the game. Only field position of the day that we had and didn't take advantage of it. So it's obviously situations where everybody can get mad and scream and shout and throw things. I've got to fix it. And the only thing I can do to fix it is you try to look at your personnel, and if somebody's not playing well, usually the one behind him didn't play any better, he'd be ahead of him. But you try to stir some guys up. You try to look at we were wide open Saturday, and it didn't work. Everybody wants wide open. Wide open's good when wide open works. Wide open gets shut when you turn the ball over. So we've got to go back and play as a team again together, like we did in Lincoln. Lincoln's what we're looking for, and it's there. We just got to do it again.
And the idea, I guess, is to don't rest on your laurels just because you made a good play here.
Oh yeah, no, we've got. I got more emotional, motivational sayings and emotional stuff up in the locker room than I've ever had. You can't even see the walls. We got stuff everywhere. You figure with this team, you got to throw it up on the wall and hope some of it sticks.
Matt, can you explain the reluctance to use DJ Monroe more offensively? He's obviously done well with the touches he's had.
Right. I thought Greg and I and Will have talked a lot about this press conference over the last month and this year, and I don't think it's fair for me to sit here and talk and then you all bring Greg up and ask him the same questions him talk. So Greg's the offensive coordinator. He makes those decisions. He'll be here in a few minutes, and I'll let him answer that for you, and he will.
Coach, you say you shouldn't lose to a team like Iowa State here. You kind of stress that. Does the same apply for a Baylor team?
Oh, that applies to everybody. We don't expect to lose to anybody here. That's been our motto. We expect to win and want to win, and right now we're not playing well enough. And I did not think our team as a whole respected Iowa State as much as they should. And that's a disease. You got to change it. You got to change it. They won't have trouble respecting Baylor. They can put on a little film now. 47 points and 55 points the last 2 weeks. The way we played this weekend, it will not be a week where we have to worry about respecting Baylor. They're ranked and we're not.
Do you tell the guys that are backing starters up that this is a week that they have an opportunity like that?
Tell them every day.
Is it the same all year?
Hadn't changed all year. We haven't changed one thing. Haven't changed one thing. We went back to first of the year. You had to earn your job every day. That's why the depth charts really shouldn't matter much. A lot of the injuries curtail that some because your backups have to play. They're forced to play like in the offensive line. But it's there for somebody's picking after a week like this for sure. When a guy doesn't play well, somebody else needs to step up. But you go back and grade in practice. And if a guy makes 4 mental errors on Thursday in practice, he's not going to play above another guy. So he's got to prove in practice that he's ready to do that.
Are there some teams where you can motivate them mentally? For instance, you know what Baylor's thinking. They're thinking this is their shot. Come down here and win. Or does that maybe not work with this team?
The motivation comes on a team against a team like UCLA that they don't know much about and they don't have respect for. It comes against a team like Iowa State where Iowa State had played so poorly. They watched the film, and we missed it on both cases. We didn't get our team motivated either one, and that really bothers you. They know Baylor. Baylor's an old Southwest Conference team. They got a bunch of buddies on the Baylor team. They'll play hard this weekend. And that's if it's an old Southwest Conference team or usually a Big 12 South team, they play hard. Some of the Big 12 North teams in the past, we just haven't gotten the word across to them because it's where our fans don't have history with them, our media don't have history with them, and we actually took stuff out from Iowa State last week and said, here's Ames. Here's pictures. Here's their university. Here's their colors. Here's their mascot, because our guys don't know anything about them, and I think they just took the game for granted. I do think it'll help next year when you're playing a team every year, and you're going back and forth every year, that you'll have a better sense of exactly who they are when you see them every week.
Do you think even though Baylor hasn't been successful in the last 15 years, do you think that carries over to the players a little bit and they may not respect them in that?
After last week, I don't have any idea what carries over to the players. You might ought to ask them.
Will you talk about Garrett? How do you think he's handling the big picture, not just the mistakes, but everything for the young quarterback?
Garrett's very mature. He's full of pride, so he's not happy that we've lost 3 games. I mean, it's under his watch. I mean, that's quarterback position here is a very pressurized position, and I'm sure, like I said, I don't read it, but I'm sure if he does or if his family does, whatever people are saying is not good when you lose. I mean, I've watched it here before with Colton. I've watched it with Vince, like I said. So it's just part of the growing process, and part of being the quarterback here is handling the scrutiny.
You've got a lot of friends in the coaching community. Do you call some of them and say, hey, how do you get out of this funk? Or is that just something, you've been here a long time, do you seek advice from Coach Roll or some former coaches in these situations?
No, none of them know your kids. They don't know your situation. So really and truly, you get more advice. I had a guy stop me at the elevator and wanted a few minutes to talk about the Baylor game. And I said, I've really got some people waiting. That's why I was late getting up here. And he said, yeah, but I got some really good stuff here. And he held out an article in the paper, and he said, we got some things we need to fix. And I said, well, no question. And he said, and I said, well, we got Baylor, so we got to move forward here. And he said, I'm talking about Baylor too. I got some things I need to talk to you about with Iowa State. But I got some things at Baylor we need to fix now, and when will you be through? And I said, well, I'm not sure. I usually get through about 12:30 or so. And he said, can I wait? And I said, well, I kind of got some film and some other stuff to watch. I said, would you be kind enough to write down those thoughts so I could get them? So I'm not short on thoughts this week. I got plenty of suggestions. That's not it. But I've been here before. I fixed it before. It's time your head coach has to step up and be strong, be tough. And I am tough, and I am strong, and I'll fix it. And that's what we're going to do.
Okay, Coach, we need to go to the conference call.
Thanks.